Hey everyone. Okay, so I think we are live. Just gonna give it a little bit to do its thing. Here we are. Hi guys, we're live. I am going to be coming into this group once a week. I haven't decided on which day I'm going to do that yet, but I'm going to be coming into this group once a week to do a live training, to answer your questions, to just to talk about all of the stuff that inevitably comes up when we are either in a relationship or we're dating, or maybe we're in that in-between place where we're just like, forget this, I'm taking a break because I've been so screwed in the past. That happens. I totally get that. I was there for many years myself. And look, that place is also very healing. It can be very therapeutic, all of that jazz. So today I actually want to talk to you guys about hooks. Now, hooks is a really sort of popular term. A lot of people use, getting hooked. That there's an expression around that. It comes from obviously hooking a fish, but it doesn't feel so good when you're in a dating situation or even once you're in a relationship situation. So what exactly is the hook? Why do we get hooked? Why is it so important that we identify immediately if we're on this hook and get ourselves off of it? So let's talk about what that is. So for many people, you might already be resonating with this and be like, oh yeah, Joanna, like I totally know what that is. I'm hooked now. I can't seem to get off of it. I've been hooked in the past. It really sucks. I don't notice it till I'm like, halfway down the garden path. And then I'm like, oh, I'm wasting my time with the wrong person. So what is the hook? The hook is essentially getting attached or committed to someone who is really just still making you an option. Okay, so you're in a committed stage and they're in the option stage. And there is a disparity here of energy, right? Because you are really into them and you are really wanting to be connected, stay connected, further your connection. And they are sort of not there. Okay, now they might get there, but chances are with a hook that's been in long enough, what's really happening is that other person is telling you that you are not the priority for them the way they are for you. And this can get really tricky and actually can get dangerous as well, depending on how long we let this go on for and how much we're willing to take and put up with. So I want you to start thinking about what your hooks might be. Okay, so maybe your hook is that your biological clock is ticking. Like you really, really want a baby. And so you're dating somebody and you're putting up with stuff that, let's say, you would normally put up with, or that you don't even realize is bad behavior, but it just doesn't feel good, right? Like you're not feeling good about how this person's treating you and how much time you get to spend with them, et cetera, et cetera. But again, your hook is, I got to have a baby. My biological clock is ticking. Okay. Maybe for you, your hook is that you're lonely, right? It's normal, right? We are made for human connection. Like we thrive when we're connected to others. So maybe your hook is that you're lonely or you've been alone for so long and now this person's in your life and you don't know when the next one's going to come around. So it's kind of like, better just take what's on offer rather than hold out for the other thing. Okay. Maybe your hook is that you have failed in other relationships in the past and this one is going to be the one, right? This one's going to be the one where you make it work because you're so tired of feeling like a relationship failure. Okay. Maybe that's your hook. So I want you to take a minute right now, and you can, if you're watching this on the replay, I definitely want you to indicate that, put a hashtag replay in the comments as you're watching this. Let me know that you're watching this training and you're getting something out of it. But I want you to take a minute right now and also write in the comments what you think your hook is. Maybe it's one of the three things I just mentioned. Maybe for you it's something else, right? Maybe it's that I've been with him so long and I love him so much, right? Or her, and I can't let go, right? I just can't let go. Maybe it's that your hook is that you have children together and you think, I need to stay for the sake of the kids, right? And I can't let go because of the kids. Okay. Maybe, you've just gone through the dating pool so many times, right? And you're tired. And so there's, it's kind of like, what's that song? Like, love the one you're with, right? Maybe that's what it is for you, okay? So I want you to take a minute right now and just get really, really, quiet. If you're watching this on the replay, even better, because you can pause me and think about it, right? What is the hook for you? And if you're not currently in a situation where you're hooked, I want you to look back at your past relationships. And I want you to look to see if there was any hooks going on there, right? Sometimes the hook is like time together, right? So this person's like, oh yeah, like work is really busy and I'm really busy with work. But when work settles down, then we can have more time together. Or, oh, this is going on, or I have someone's sick, or excuse after excuse after excuse. And the hook is that you're just kind of waiting to spend time with them, right? And you're waiting for them to be free. And you notice here that the hook and waiting go hand in hand, right? So this is something that is like you're waiting for this relationship to really get started. You're waiting for your needs to be fulfilled. You're waiting for this person to make you a priority and actually make you feel important, special, adored, cherished, all the good things that we want, right? So what is yours? And you can write that in the comments below and let me know what it is, okay? So why is it so important to identify this? Well, first of all, when we're doing this and we're very unconscious of it, it can have almost this, addictive feeling to it because, deep down we know like this sucks. Like I'm not happy with this person, or I'm not fulfilled, and, I'm not really getting their time and attention, and I am putting more into it than they're giving back. And it can feel really crappy and really shitty. And at the same time, because we want it so bad to work, we will be willing to kind of let ourselves go what I call temporarily unconscious. And so we don't see what's happening. We don't pick it up. And it's really, really important to identify that this is happening and be conscious of it, even if you're not ready to change it, even if it's hard to change it. And I'm going to be really clear with you. It's really hard to do this on your own. I know, I've tried. It's really hard, okay? So I get it. But even if you can, right? And even if you could, and you have supportive, great friends, and you're just able to get the bravery and the courage up and your self-worth up and up to change it, if we don't see it, we can't change it. So that's the first step really, is being brave enough to be conscious of it. And you might not be ready. Like I said, you might not be ready to make that change and to make that switch over just yet. That's okay. But the first step is just awareness, right? You can't change anything unless you're aware of it. And the second half of awareness is admitting it. Like, okay, like I actually have a hook here and it doesn't feel good. I have no idea how to change it. That's okay. You don't need to know that yet. But I have it, and I'm admitting it, and I see it. And I get, and this is really important, I get that this is my problem, right? In other words, that person cannot help you with your hook. It doesn't matter how much time and attention they give you. If they come back and they fulfill all of that, that hook is actually coming from a really, really deep place where there's a void that we're trying to fulfill from outside of ourselves. So part B of awareness and being conscious of this is being able to realize that that other person is not going to be able to help you with this hook, okay? They cannot fix this for you. This is something that is a you thing. Okay. And so this is what I call, if you didn't watch my previous training, you can go back into the group and watch that. This is where I spoke about radical responsibility, right? When you actually can identify, this is my stuff and these are my hooks and I have to deal with this because this comes from a deeper place inside of me. Then it's awesome because then the other person can keep acting the way they're acting, but you are now in charge and you're like, okay, I know this is me. And I'm going to look at this. And if I can't look at it on my own, that's fine. I'm going to get support. But I'm going to look at this and I'm going to get resources. I'm going to read stuff. And I'm going to take responsibility for this hook coming from what's inside of me. So what's part two? Part two is that once you've become conscious of the hook, you've admitted it to yourself, you can see that you are responsible for this hook. The other person's not going to change it for you. Part two is getting that deep down support to flip this switch, because guys, this is not as easy as reading a self-help book. I wish it was. I've read like 100 of them, if not more. It's hard to do. I wasn't actually able to really truly see myself until I had somebody reflect it back to me, until I had somebody ask me really deep questions that had me self-reflect and have my own aha moments, okay? So the second piece of this is that once you've done this work, and again, I'm totally oversimplifying for the sake of this training, but once you have done this work, the second piece of this is actually expressing what your needs are. Now, for some of you, you might be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that's fine. I can express my needs, no problem. But for some of you, just the thought of that might be like, oh my God, right? Everybody has a different background with this. Some of us were raised by parents who intentionally or unintentionally were neglectful in some way. They were busy, they worked 3 jobs, who knows what it was, but somewhere along the lines, and this is more true for women than men, unfortunately, we were taught that expressing our needs was just not something you do, right? Your needs are not important. By all means, don't express them because nobody wants to hear them and cares to listen, right? And even if it wasn't to that extreme, socially, many women have been socialized to not express their needs, right? In fact, statistics show that far less women speak up in the boardroom than men do, okay? So we don't express our needs, we don't express our ideas. And this is super important because this second step of having the courage, that bravery, that recognition that your needs are important and that having them does not make you needy. Again, watch my first training. Once you're able to express those needs and say what you need, that's when the rubber meets the road, right? That's when this person in your life is going to have to sit back and say, oh, these are her needs. This is what she just said to me. This is what she just expressed. Am I on board with that? Can I give that? Am I willing to give that? Do I want to give that? Okay. And the third piece of this is, of course, again, this is a lot of bravery and a lot of courage here, but being able to stand in your truth and in your power if and when the other person responds back that they cannot. Okay? Now, maybe they can. Maybe they're just unconscious. Maybe they're not even realizing they're neglecting you. And so you expressing these needs has them say, oh my gosh, I've totally been a jerk here. And things change and great, you've expressed your needs and the relationship and the dynamics or the dating starts to shift and change. But it very well might be that that person says, I just can't do this right now. Like, I'm going to let you down because I'm not into this. I'm too busy. It's not a priority for me. I don't feel the same way you do, right? Words that we don't want to hear, right? Things that are really, really tough to take. But I'm going to tell you, you will thank yourself later for having done this work, because I guarantee you, I know from my personal experience, I know from all of the hundreds of clients I've had in the last, how many years I've been coaching, 9 years, 10 years, I don't remember, that when we can clear away a relationship or a connection that is really just acting as a space filler, right? In other words, it is not adding to your life. It is not adding joy. It is not adding anything to your life. It's just sucking the life out of you. What I know for sure is that when you can complete that and when you can say no to that, that your entire life will change. That this person that was being a placeholder for the one, once they go, you make room for the actual person that is going to give you safety and security and love and affection and partnership to come in. In other words, the universe abhors a void, right? The universe abhors a vacuum. And so when there's a vacuum or a void created, rather, the universe rushes in to fill it. And that's what will happen in your life. Your one will have a better chance of showing up because you are actively standing in your power, being brave, expressing your needs, knowing and feeling that you're important and so are your needs. And then the universe can show up to match that. So I'm going to check the comments real quick. Nobody's on live right now. No worries. This group is tiny and mighty and it's growing. Please do share with your friends if you come in the group and you find some value. If you're watching this again on the replay, let me know what your insights were on this, right? Let me know what you got from this. And again, if you think this video will benefit someone else, if you think there's a friend of yours that might be hooked and needs to hear this, by all means, share this group with them, share the video with them, and let them know that they can change this. Like, this is so doable, guys. You can do it. It feels hard, but it's doable. Okay. Now, if any of you are watching and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I definitely have hooks. I know that I need support. I want to dive in deeper. I do make space in my calendar to work with people by application only. And that is a Love Insight coaching call. And it's not just a chit chat, right? Like, we don't just chat about your problems and stay in the story and talk about the drama. We actually go deep and we get to the bottom of stuff and we coach. Okay, we go right into it and we help you come up with some solution, right? I help you start to understand the steps that need to be taken and what is available for you once you take those steps, and we create a plan together. So if that's for you, then definitely post in the comments. Let me know that you want a Love Insight coaching application. I will post the link and you can definitely fill out that application and we'll be in touch. Thanks for listening, guys. And again, if this helped you or you know someone it could help, definitely pass it along.